Some mods are for looks, but this one is gonna save you a little bit of money. We're gonna be installing this brand new, and I mean brand new, Rad 450 radar detector. And this just happened to be something I needed because my last radar detector, the sounds all worked, all the buttons worked great, but unfortunately the lights were starting to die on this, so I ended up just throwing it in the trash.
We'll take good care of him.
Popping this bad boy open. Oh yeah. Ooh. Okay, I'm already liking this so far. Where's my last one? Piece of shit. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. You have the very expensive one and the more expensive one. This is the Whistler CR65, which it treated me well for the longest time. I enjoyed using this and it worked very, very well. First time looking at this, and this just seems cheaper. Then you have this one, and I don't know what it is about this reflective display, but I like it so far. That's better. That is better. Bam, these, you can really just tell the difference without even me describing it. You can see that this one just has a beautiful finish on it. And also this black screen on here, pretty much exactly the same. There's no really difference with it. The buttons up top, I will say that I am more of a fan of the buttons on this one than I am on this one. I just noticed that the suction cup thing fell off wherever that went. And we do have one more mystery box that we gotta tap into because I don't know what's in it, and I'm really hoping it's a mount because I don't know how I'm gonna mount this thing so far. And to give you guys an idea really quick on how to do this, because I know that a lot of you guys will be asking questions when that time comes. Hold up, just wait a minute. Just a little bit of patience, please. Just a little bit is all I ask. We have the 12-volt cigarette lighter piece. As you can see, it is basic. Very simply, you plug it in, turns the thing on, and then you have the plug at the very end that plugs into the radar detector. Easy enough? Okay, we're on the same page here. You got a screw on top, you pull it off, and as you can see on the inside, you have all the internal components. You don't need the cap anymore. You don't need this fuse anymore. And as for the spring, this will be your positive wire. As you can see, it has the red wire on it. So all you're doing is, when this thing is plugged in, that middle part is pretty much your positive, and the outside prongs are the negative. And you're gonna be attaching this positive over to a 12 volt on your car. At least for my car, how I have this is I have it to any time I turn the key on my car, the 12 volt turns on, and then with that, the radar detector turns on with it as well. Because I don't want to constantly have to keep unplugging the damn thing all the time. It would drive me crazy. I am just very weird like that. I want to have everything work in sync.
Shut up, man.
And the way to do that is you're gonna go ahead and get yourself a voltmeter, and you're gonna go test it to see anytime you turn on the key on your car to see if a 12 volt pop up here. And if it doesn't turn on, then it means that there is no 12 volts. It'll just stay at a constant 0. Or it might just say 12 the entire time, so you know there's always power ran to there. The prongs on the side right here, as you can see, there's a black wire hanging from it. These are your negative components. You could attach this to anywhere on the body of the car. You could take this entire thing off. Then you go ahead and add a crimp on there that has like the little U part to it that connects to the very end of it. You tap a screw in it, screw it in, it just stays nice, tight in place. But the really important thing you need, and you gotta make sure you keep this in here, is the board that's on the actual 12 volt system, because without this, it's not gonna work. And the question you may be asking though is,
do you have a fuse on there?
No.
and the reason why I don't have one is because I didn't feel there was a reason for it. From my experience of throwing LED lights on the car, or even the radar detector, I have not put a fuse on there. But if you feel more safe to do so, by all means, go for it. This, oh, there it is. Better go wash it off.
There it is. I better go wash it off.
My light went out. I don't know why that just happened. Literally, I'm just sitting in the car. It died, so nice. You saw it And for the moment of truth, we're gonna see if this thing plugs in, which I really hope it does. This is weird. No, it doesn't. No, I don't think it does. And if I did everything right, this thing should start right up. So let's give it a shot. Wait, do I need to power it on maybe? Oh, there it goes. Ba-bam, baby. Call me a wizard because I got these magic powers in these hands, because look at that. And for those of you guys that are curious about how I was able to do this, so I grabbed the original wire that was on the car that came off the original radar detector, so I didn't have to rewire and redo everything from that previous plug-in that came with the new radar detector. I cut it off, I cut all this black piece off, and I exposed the red and the white wire. And then when I cut the wire off the new radar detector, I left just enough to in case I mess up. There was a black wire and a red wire on this one. So if you get confused that you're like,
Oh, I have a white wire here and I have a black wire there. How do I know which one's a negative, which one's a positive?
so I ended up going ahead and understanding that, all right, there's only two wires, simple enough. The white one must be the negative and the two red were the positive. And if you're curious about what these little Lego pieces are, they are called Scotch locks. Scotch locks are a very easy way of not having to do any soldering, and there's a little button that you push down on this with a tool that I did not have the proper tool for, but it works in a similar manner. Locked them into place so I didn't have to do any soldering, and then from there, just turned this thing on and magic happened.
System ready.
After using it the past few days, I'm actually pretty satisfied with it. The design is clean, the build feels solid, and for the most part, it works as it should. It's gone off near store entrances, picked up a few cops, but it didn't react to the construction speed sign, so yeah, not flawless, but not bad either. I got it as a gift, so I'm just testing as I go, and so far, it's doing its job. Nothing that made me doubt it, but I'll keep seeing how this Star Wars sounding unit holds up over time.